Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here tuning in today because we need to have a serious, unfiltered reality check. Let me start with a phrase you've probably heard a million times. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Or, as I like to put it, there is no such thing as a free sandwich. Think about it. We live in a world where everyone wants the reward, but nobody wants the labor. We want the thriving business, the deep marriage, the perfect health, and the highest level of Jannah. But we want it handed to us on a silver platter. But life doesn't work that way. The universe doesn't work that way. And the most importantly, Allah's creation isn't designed that way. Everything in this life operates on a fundamental law: give and take. If you want to take, you have to pour in. You have to put in the work. Today, we are breaking down why trying to get something for nothing is ruining our relationships, our productivity, and our spirituality, and how shifting to a give and take mindset can completely transform your dunya and your akhirah. Let's dive in. The relationship blueprint, the traditional balance. Let's start here where most people struggle the most: relationships. We've all heard the modern advice that marriage or partnership should be 50-50. But let's be honest, 50-50 sounds like a business merger, not a life built on love and mercy. True connection isn't about keeping a strict scorecard. It's about both sides showing up and doing their part. Nothing is free. You can't just sit pretty and expect a thriving relationship. Let's look at this through a traditional Islamic lens, because Islam lays down a perfect blueprint for this give and take dynamic. In Islamic marriage, the husband has a massive, non negotiable responsibility. He is the qawam, the protector, and the maintainer. It is his duty to pay for the housing, the bills, the food, and the upkeep of his wife and children. That is his give. But ladies, here's a reality check. You don't just get to sit there pretty. There is a divine balance. In return for this financial provider role, the wife has a beautiful, equally critical role. Her give is the nurturing, the upbringing, the children, and the maintenance of the home, and creating a sanctuary of peace, sakina, for the family. He pours in the financial stability and the physical protection. She pours in the emotional stability, the nurturing, and the most preservation. If the husband says, I'm not going to provide, the structure collapses. If the wife says, I'm not going to nurture or look after the home, the structure collapses. Sorry, I'm not talking about the people in special circumstances who are ill and they can't provide. That is exceptions to the rule. Okay, I'm not talking about those. So it's not about who has the better role. It's about acknowledging that you cannot take the benefits of a marriage without giving the effort required to sustain it. Okay? The universe law of effort, jobs, plants, and time. And this isn't just true for marriage. This is a universal law that applies to literally everything you touch. Look at your job. You don't get a paycheck just for showing up and breathing the company's oxygen. You give your time, your intellect, and your energy. And in return, you take your salary. Think about something as simple as a plant. You can't just buy a seed, throw it on the dirt, yell at it to grow, and walk away. If you want to take the fruit or enjoy the flowers, you have to give it to the plant. You have to sow the seeds, water it regularly, shield it from harsh weather, and nurture it. Some people even talk to the plant. Your life, your goals, and your businesses are exactly like that. Time is your ultimate currency. What you focus on is what will flourish. If you invest 10 hours a day into building a business, that business will grow. If you invest 0 hours into it, it won't work, will it? So ask yourself honestly right now, Where are you expecting a harvest where you haven't even planted a seed? Are you complaining about your life, your career, or your fitness while giving absolutely zero effort to change them? Now, let's take this to the deepest level. Let's talk about the ultimate give and take, the exchange between this life, the dunya, and the next life, the akhirah. As Muslims, we know this world is a cultivation ground. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught us that this dunya is the field where we sow seeds for the akhirah. Remember that we just said about focus. Whatever you pour your time into will flourish. If your focus is 100% dunya, if you give all your energy to money, status, and social media fame, guess what? Your dunya might flourish. You might get that big house and that fancy car, but it comes at a massive expense. If you give nothing to your akhirah, what do you expect to take when you stand before Allah? Allah tells us in the Quran, in Surah Al-Tawbah, verse 111, indeed, Allah has purchased from the believers their lives and their properties in exchange for that they will have paradise. Look at that language Allah uses. He uses the language of a transaction, a trade, a give and take. Allah is buying our time, our obedience, and our struggles in this world. And in return, He is giving us Jannah. If you don't give your prayers, your charity, and your good character today, you cannot expect to take the ultimate reward tomorrow. You can't cheat the system. How to be productive, mastering the flow. So, how do we become practical, productive people using this law? How do we stop being passive consumers and start being intentional producers? Here are the 3 steps to master the law of give and take starting today. Number 1, stop looking for shortcuts. Accept right now that anything worth having requires sacrifice of time, ego, or comfort. Stop looking for the free sandwich. Number 2, audit your poor. Look at the areas of your life that you are failing. Is it your marriage? Is it your prayers? Is it your career? Ask yourself, what am I actually pouring into this? If you're putting in 10% effort, stop wondering why you're getting a 10% return. It's simple. 3, align your intentions, the barakah factor. When you give to your husband, your wife, your job, or your community, do it for the sake of Allah. When you do that, your productivity gets blessed with barakah, divine increase. Suddenly, the small effort you give yields a massive return in both worlds. I can give you an example of doing for the intention of Allah. It's just a small thing. I remember I was at the till at a shop and I had some coupons. I used my coupons, I had some extra, and I had a gentleman behind me and he had a lot of shopping with his family. I wanted to intentionally give that to him and I want him to see that I'm wearing a hijab, I'm a Muslim, and in my way of showing it, not to show, oh, I'm just a good Muslim here, it's just an invitation. Maybe he has this pre-assumption about Muslims, so handing this coupon, maybe he might think somewhat, Muslims, there are good Muslims out there who are not just taking, they're givers as well. We are the highest people who give more charity, especially in this country, in the UK. We know that. But a lot of non-Muslims do not know our characters because the media shows such a blurred line, so much negativity that they have prejudgment of us unintentionally, subconsciously. Like when you are visibly a Muslim, if you try to do a good thing, hopefully that will plant a seed that not all Muslims are bad. Anyway, that's my intention behind why I try to go out and do little things like this. It's the intention behind it. My brothers and sisters, life is a mirror. It reflects back exactly what you put into it. If you want love, give love. If you want financial stability, give your hard work. If you want Jannah, give your devotion to Allah. Nothing is free. Put in the work, nurture your seeds, and watch how Allah causes your life to bloom. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If this resonated with you, do me a favor. Don't just take the value, give some back. Share this episode with a friend, a spouse, or anyone who needs this reminder today. Until next time, keep giving your best and trust Allah with what you take. Thank you so much.